Why, hello there. Camera. Hi there. Hi, I'm Chef Jay Tay. Welcome in, everyone. How we doing tonight? Hi there, Skeleton. Welcome in, Will. Hello, Uncommon. Hello, Dragon. Hopefully you're all doing lovely. Let me see here. Welcome in, JK. How we doing? Third cup of coffee time. For those who may have missed this morning's cutting glass stream, it was short and sweet. Not because of technical issues for once. Well, stream technical issues. But because I had done masking. And I had to wait for the latex that I was masking with to solidify. Hi, Nan Reader. And because I had to wait for the latex to dry, it sort of left me in a place where I didn't have a whole lot else I could do on the project at the moment. I guess I could have done stuff with that, but that then takes it out of this scene. So I'm trying to delay dealing with anything with the frame until last minute. And you're not on tonight, are you? Yep, you're not on. I made the mistake of overfilling the sugar container again, so it's a pain to get the spoon in there. I'm all clammy tonight. My shirt's all sticky. Making me realize I need to turn a fan on here. On me. Caramelized onion jalapeno cornbread the other day. Nice! Was the caramelized onion in the cornbread your primary sweetness in it? Experimentation's fun, isn't it? I am just so hot. Temperature. I mean, I know that too, but I can relax now, body. Cool down. We're not in a rush anymore. To clean up after the madness I left myself yesterday. That pork was delicious yesterday. And for lunch today. Yawn. I apologize if I'm making anyone sleepy. Mr. Carrington! Thank you for the raid, kind sir. Welcome in, everyone. Hello, raiders. Hi, I'm Chef Jay Tay. I stream food and drink 4 nights a week. What were we playing today, Mr. C? I still call you Mr. C, even though... How many years has it been since Mixer? I recharged my batteries. They're more potent today. Vampire crawlers. Nice. Thank you all for joining me tonight. Cheers. Wow, you have to be up early to have to go to sleep this early. I hope you have a lovely evening, Mr. Carrington. Hello, Tillable Cat. Welcome, Average Chicken Song. I appreciate that, Chicken Song. You love that lamp. Lava lamp. Yep. Lava lamps are... They're good stuff. I wish I could still use... My parents gifted me their old one when I was like a teenager. Actually, it might have been my grandmother's. I don't know. I don't remember. But it got to this point where it wouldn't still... Like, even though I had the proper bulb in it, it wasn't doing anything with it. Like, it had permanently solidified. Why are you trying to write HTML, bot? That ain't a website. Ooh. Thank you for the resub, Nan Reader. Appreciate that. Alright, where do we start with tonight's dinner? Hi, Incredible Waddy. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, they can be temperamental, never want to shake one while it's hot. They can break down in tiny globes and never become a huge blob again. Ooh. Yeah. This one, I don't think this one has like a spring in the bottom of it. That old one had like a metal spring in the actual lava lamp that sat at the bottom to aid in the heating, I think. Like, not 100% sure what was going on there. No, we're doing savory corn fritters. Breakfast corn fritters are delicious too, but they're not going to go as well with everything else tonight. Although, admittedly, tonight's dinner is a little bit strange. For anyone new in here, on Sundays this year, I've been doing, and it's going to continue on beyond this year, I think, I am doing states and U.S. territories themed dinners. And so we have made it to Maryland with tonight. And with that, Maryland's cuisine is mostly seafood. Like, there's a lot of seafood in Maryland. And there's not a ton... There's some seafood in Sonoma, but there's not a ton of seafood in Sonoma. And so, I'm going with the Escoffier dish, Chicken Maryland, which is fried chicken with a cream sauce served with bananas. Bananas being, you know, like their major import at the time or something like that. Apparently it was like in all of the fine dining restaurants of the day. All that loveliness. And so that is the main part of our dinner. That bananas, cooked bananas, cream sauce, fried chicken. I'm going to add the corn fritters just because I felt like that wasn't enough of a side. Like, I love bananas and all, but they're fruit. They're not really... They're starchy fruit, but they're a fruit. So we're doing corn fritters, too. Yeah, chicken song, and I also just did a pretty decent shrimp etouffee for Louisiana just a couple weeks ago. Seafood's gotten way up, like, everything's gotten up there in price, and it's sort of like, feel like I'm beating a dead corpse at this point, complaining about prices, but seafood. Alright, I still don't know where I want to start with this, and this pan looks dirty still. Bowl. need you for that. What am I putting in with these? Guess we're just doing onion. Really? I gotta go for that big? It's only thick at the top. Smith Island cake is Maryland? Yeah. That one's, that looks like a delicious cake. I don't know that I've had that before, but, that's one of those cakes with like 100 layers to it. Came across that one too while planning for today. And for those curious, my bot that's not running on data center, that's running on computer back there, local generated. I'm pretty certain I've lost some people from doing the summaries and stuff like that because well, that too is true. But that summary isn't being generated by ChatGPT or one of those things, those companies building a giant data center next to it. I'm just using the giant ones that Google already built. Yeah, the home models, most of them you can get through Olama. If you download Olama on your computer, they take up a ton of space, like gigabytes of space. And they'll use all the VRAM they can get. But if you got a modern GPU, you can do pretty good on your own computer these days. It's slower, but it's not backed up by a data center. And you've got some of them that have just come out, like Kimmy's making all sorts of news waves, and I think Gwen 4 just came out. I'm currently using Gemma for 26B for all of my stream stuff. The 26B is the model size, and that's sort of like based off of what hardware and stuff you got. And there's models anywhere from like 3B to over 100 if you got one of those, if you got like a dedicated server or something. And then you can get into other things which require even more work, but you can do like, you can use systems like GPU stack, which requires you to have dual boot if you're using Windows and stuff like that, or at least it used to. But that can actually combine your VRAM across multiple computers on your network to use on a single model. There's some really funky stuff coming out. And like, I'm behind the times on all of this. Like, I'm old. Thank you so much for the raid. I hope you have a great sleep. I'm sorry if I'm keeping you awake. I guess we'll do some thyme, some oregano in with these. Paprika. See, is it still good? It appears so. It doesn't smell bad. Man, today just drained my hummingbird feeder. I don't know what happened today, but like around noon it just dropped like 2 inches. I don't know if just everyone came in for lunch today or what. But yeah, you can do all that sorts of interesting stuff. There's actually some people I was reading recently that are working on some interesting models too. Like, most of the big names like ChatGPT and Google and them are all working, well, Google less so, but GPT and Anthropic are both more looking towards having all of the data right there. We want everything at our fingertips right now. And there are other people that are working on extremely light models
that work off of a basis that, oh, hey, we're connected to the internet. We can find anything we want. I just tried to grab that onion like it was my mouse. I don't know why my bot is not properly linking that, and I don't know why I'm not live on Kick tonight. Almost there. Get these onions down nice and soft. We'll add them into the mix. We'll give this a slight pulse. Loosen up that corn a little bit. Mix in the egg and all of that. Yeah, onion mouse. It's the new, and it's like, it's not too far off. Like, it feels pretty good in the hand. It's like one of those ergonomic mouses with the giant, like, flat side to them. I also apologize for any new one here. I normally have a camera right over here that switches views to see me. I actually wrote a little script that slips between them. But I can't get this GoPro to ever load up properly before stream. That, and I keep forgetting to properly set it up before stream. There shouldn't be set up for a webcam, it should just work. Silly GoPros. I'm not worried about that because we're not completely blending this either. Should I throw some... Hi, Soph. Should I throw some pepperoncini or some jalapeno in these corn fritters, even though it's not really, like, we're not really going after the high spice territory. We're up in the Northeast. I just realized y'all see my backside of my pans way too often. Salt, pepper. Let's do some onion powder in there too, on top of the other onion. We need the onion in here. Strong. Alright, giving this a pulse to break up some of that corn and get some of that curdy. We'll give that a... We'll switch to that. There. Now I gotta turn the mute logo back off. There we go. Okay. So, corn slightly broken up, everything sort of mixed in together nicely. Add that back over here. Hi, Sean Ray. How are thee? Happy. Is it Sunday? To you? Dual streams now through Wednesday. Making up for stuff because of all that network nonsense that's still going on. Still not properly linking my YouTube videos. Stream has been doing better tonight. So, sort of. Like, it did. I'm live on YouTube, but it didn't properly link to the right YouTube video. It just created a new one. And it's not live on Kick. But I do have a solid Twitch connection in 1440 and vertical. If anyone is on mobile, you should be able to do that thing in the video change. It better be buttery smooth after the last couple of days I've had. Huh. Oh. Okay. Yeah, we should probably add that too. Yeah. I don't know which to use. Let's go with these. Yeah. We'll go some jalapeno in there.
I sort of feel like this is necessary too.
I know chat thinks it's necessary. Chat always thinks it's necessary. Hi, Kip. It's like asking chat if you want bacon in something. Which, sadly, chat, I chose no bacon tonight. It's at least more of a modern thing, apparently, to add bacon with the bananas with this dish. And since we're doing corn fritters, I think we should do corn starch instead of flour. As our binder. It's a lot easier to mix it in with the cheese to get it all blended nicely without any lumps. You hate that so many smoothies have banana in them? Yeah, it's sort of like... Dole's got that marketing thing down. Like, they've just got it locked. Like... I'm not really interested in going into how they got into that position or how they locked it in. Banana Wars. Yeah. I'm debating if that needs more, or I think we're just going to let that sit, and we'll go with that as it is. Might need a little more flour or cornstarch to that, but we'll see once it thickens up. Excuse me. Hey, main event, welcome in. Yeah, banana and apple are in just about anything that's fruit juice. Actually, it's either apple or pear. But I think it's increasingly apple. Are you kidding me? Is there more water or bird here? This is ridiculous. Look at the amount of liquid in this bag. I'm giving this another try. I gave Warehouse Club chicken a try, I don't know, 6 months, a year ago, and was absolutely disgusted with the smell of what I had bought and the quality of it. Looking at this, like, do you want to eat that? Does that look appetizing to you of a liquid? Like, this whole thing is just, like, squishy. It's, like, still got so much liquid in it. Which, if they were a company that was actually making money off of the weight of it, it would make sense, but these things are just full of water. I can't even hardly feel where the breastbone is on this thing. Terrible. There's a good chance. It reads both chat and my captions. And stream events. And the last couple of summaries. And a whole bunch of rules. Lost my earbud and I didn't really want to catch it with my chicken fingers. And so it went flying across the kitchen now. It has a whole bunch of other rules too, like it actually pays attention to the word scramble and tries to make sure that the single word answers in chat are not people playing the game. It weighs whether they think it thinks it's a game response or it's a one word chat response. And now it's telling everyone in my Discord that I'm apparently streaming in 2 locations at once. What the heck? Hey Blake, welcome, welcome. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, happy Monday, happy Tuesday, and happy Wednesday. I'm going to be here for all of them. Cooking, making stained glass stuff. Yeah, I have a stained glass channel too for anyone new in here. I do nothing but cooking on Chef Jay Tay. I do stained glass artwork and art things on cutting glass, cutting_glass. Alright, what am I doing with chicken? What am I using for tonight? What am I not using for tonight? I don't think I'm using these breasts tonight. Now the question is, am I keeping the wings or throwing those in with the stock? I think I'm throwing those in with the stock. It's relatively new. I'm currently and have been working on doing a new background. I'm going to replace my background sign back here with a backlit stained glass version of my logo. I buy whole chickens and butcher them up because I also make my own stock on occasion. I save the carcasses, I throw them in the freezer. When I get 6 or so of them around, 6 to 8, I make some stock. Well, that and my freezer isn't broke. I just got a new refrigerator. I am going to be using thighs tonight as far as frying. So we'll throw the wingless breasts in there. And I'm not using the legs tonight. Still got the kneecap to go here. Yeah, I just don't like this chick. Like, it's so much cheaper, but that meat quality is... Ugh. I mean, I'm not talking about my horrible butchering. Just this meat is just... It's drenched. Like, I'm so worried that's gonna dry out so much. What do I have to use with these? What am I gonna do with these? Do I have that back there? I do have that back there. Guess what this is? This saved pickle juice and other juice from several things. Hi, Tiff Tiff. So we'll soak that in that for a little bit while I cut up this other chicken for other time use. So we only need one carcass per bag here, just so it's easier to count when they're frozen. This one at least isn't swimming like the first one. Which also is like, where's your quality control? If you're going to serve me two of them in the same bag, and one of them's sitting in a lake, and the other one's sitting in a lake of a diaper. That one had a bigger diaper. At least on Twitch. Like this one, I could right off feel where that breastbone was.
My nose is running again. I think I'm going to go take an allergy pill. Just to make sure. Because, yeah. I'm not great at telling when I've got allergies issues or not. And my nose gets going. That's sort of like one of my major indicators that take some medicine. Oh. You're going to be thinking forever in vain of how to do it. I don't even have the bot in front of me. I just knew that one. Though given that the bot's telling people on Discord that I'm live on Cutting Glass over on Discord, I probably should be looking at what the bot's doing, but at this point I just don't care. Hopefully it hasn't started OBS on my other computer, which it can do.
Hey! It's a heart. Let's see, what did the bot say? What a fantastic time we're having here in Chef Jay Tay's kitchen. Chef Jay Tay has been expertly prepping our chicken, bravely battering a rogue earbud, and even dealing with some curious liquid situations. Meanwhile, our amazing chat, including Tillable Cat and So Fluff, has been buzzing with lively word scrambles and hilarious chicken water jokes, making this stream truly special. Thanks for hanging out, fam. Oh, captions are half the fun here. I'm too dry and humorless otherwise. Hi, Alex. That just reminded me, Soph, the bot doesn't do dad jokes anymore. I absolutely don't know when I got rid of that. So I'm gonna try exclamation mark dad joke, see if that even works. Huh. I guess the timers just broke on it. Yeah, that wasn't a bad joke either. Actually, let's do one more for that after we get all of this other stuff off of the... It's all alphabetized. I'm including the U.S. territories that have dates in them. Let me see here if I can pull this up easy. It's also in my Google Calendar that's publicly shared. I have all of my upcoming dates in there. Buckeye candy. Peanut butter and chocolate balls. I think I'm just going to throw all of these in the fridge for the moment. Right on top of those, because I'm not using those. Clean up the onion pan from earlier. I know that Ohio is the Buckeye state, so I made that assumption. But I haven't figured out much beyond, like, the next 2 streams here. I think I have plans in the calendar for Massachusetts. Let me check. Yeah, Massachusetts, which is next Sunday. I'm going to be doing American chop suey and Toll House style cookies. Because Toll House style chocolate chip cookies were started in Massachusetts. And American chop suey is somewhere in America, but Massachusetts claims it. I have a poll up actually in the Discord, though it might be over today. I think it was a 3-day poll between Detroit style pizza, wet burrito, and olive burger from Michigan. I believe Detroit style pizza is running away with that vote. I was honestly surprised that wet burritos were a Michigan creation. We've had a couple of those where there's like this Mexican dish in northern U.S. state. Yup, pizza won. Okay, so we're doing pizza from Michigan if it won. Olive burger, I did one of those on stream like 3-4 months ago. And I almost did it, just set it up as olive burger because I want to do olive burgers again. But an olive burger is essentially a burger with an absolute ton of green olives in a mayo-like sauce with some seasoning in there, just smothering that burger. It's disgusting and delicious both at the same time. Ooh, that looks like that's thickened up nicely for frittering. How's our oil situation looking? I didn't filter my oil here last time. Yeah, let's give that a quick filter. Oh, the bot thinks it's hilarious. Look at that. Giving itself a pat on the back. All right, so we got that going. What do I want to put that in? Do we want to do that, or do I want to do that? Let's do this. That was an impressive catch. I don't know if camera caught that, but I'm rather surprised that I caught that canister of breadcrumbs from flying. that would have been an absolute clippable moment. But it didn't happen. Because I was awesome. Yeah, the bot camera, or the PTZ camera's not following me again tonight. Hey, Kenneth. Let's add the motor oil back to the pan. Welcome in, Powder. We're a pretty chill stream. I am in Northern California in Sonoma County. It is just about dinner time. We've got Chicken Maryland on the menu for tonight. I've been doing U.S. states and territories. On Sundays, I'm going alphabetically. U.S. territories, at least with, like, actual food history. There's a whole bunch of U.S. territories that are just, like, a rock in the middle of the ocean. Like, no one lives there other than maybe the military. So the ones that have actual history, like Puerto Rico, we're doing dinners for. And we're up to Maryland tonight. So we're doing fried chicken with a cream sauce that I gotta get started. Which is making me realize I gotta put this oil on the back burner and get that sauce started. Where are we, oil? Wow, you're up there, and we'll just turn you off for now. We need butter if we're going to be doing a roux. Getting ahead of myself with the chicken here, forgetting I got to do a cream sauce with this. Not every night. I do 4 nights a week. Well, typically I do 4 nights a week. Typically I do Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. This week, because I have had a whole bunch of network issues lately and crazy technical stuff going on, I am going to be live straight till Wednesday. So Thursday is going to be my next night off. Which also means the dinners the next couple of nights are going to be a little bit... Not that I ever really make small dinners. They're going to be on the smaller end for my dinners because they're only for like that night and the lunch afterward with me doing night after night. So, I don't know if I'm going through all those fritters. So we've got butter and flour here, doing a traditional French style roux. Though it's a bit thick for a roux. So if you're being picky about your French, yeah. We'll add some water in here to start our sauce. And that just immediately disappears. Let's add some more water in there. Normally I have a camera that could see me facing all of you lovely people. My GoPro is not cooperating tonight, so you get to see the back of my head. I apologize for that. That's not how I want my stream to work. I gotta add more water. It just keeps turning solid. Bunch of half and half. I don't know why, it just keeps turning solid. He says with a smile. I have cameras everywhere. That's not even all of them. Dijon mustard in there. More water. Less heat. Salt. Pepper. the other salt. For those new in here, that's MSG. Garlic powder. And straight normal paprika. And thin it out a bit. We're going to thin it out a bit more than I want it to be in the finish. And because it's going to continue cooking while we're doing frying and all of that, it'll thicken a bit more. Back to where we want it. Which, this is almost where I want it right now. Start debating adding even more liquid into this. Yeah, let's add some more. It's got to cook. Move this over on the other burner. Just a low simmer flame on the sauce on the side there. Hi, Mimic. Man, chocolate's just surging ahead now. What's up with that? Where's all the bacon lovers? What happened to my bacon lovers? Where's my baconators? It's not gonna, if you put more than just the first word tillable, it's not gonna catch it. I'm making the assumption that was a guess at the word scramble. I don't know. I'm not sure that JK was the last one to do some offline voting. I know JK has been to blame in the past. It's not always JK's fault. How we doing temp-wise here? Oil? 200-ish? Beautiful. Where are we with everything else? Bananas. I feel like I should just do the bananas when, like, I'm done with the... I do keep warm with the oven. So we'll warm up the oven to keep the chicken warm while we cook our bananas. No, that's not what I wanted. Why is that there? Cheers. Oh yeah, you're not even close on that word. Oh yeah, it's over now. So start in on putting our watery chicken into some breadcrumbs and flour. This is just going to be our initial dunk. That is a combination of past pickling liquid. There might be olive juice involved there too. I don't really remember what all I put in there. But we've dunked these once, we gotta do it again. Especially since this flour and breadcrumb isn't very seasoned yet. Salt, pepper, onion, mustard, cayenne, paprika, garlic, and get rid of this now. Give our sauce a whisk up because it's sitting there bubbling away happily. How hot we getting on this oil? Unchanged, so we'll turn the heat up on the oil so we can actually start frying here. Thank you for the follow. Okay, I can deal with that for cream sauce. I can deal with that. I need some more water. I'm not being properly moisturized. Hi over there. Welcome, Sniper. Sauce is looking lovely over there. We're just waiting on our oil, I think. Yep, 275 on our oil. We get up about 325, 350. we get up 325, 350. We'll start doing our corn fritters, and then we'll do our chicken, and then we'll do our bananas. I almost feel like the bananas should be in like a side plate. Like, I'm so just like, this is just so weird, bananas with dinner. Like, I've done plantains. I've rarely enjoyed plantains, but I've done all sorts of plantains. Bananas, not so much during dinner. I mean, bananas Foster is damn tasty. But that's about it. What's everyone's favorite banana dish? Waiting for the first person to say banana pudding. When most banana pudding is vanilla with bananas in it. Banana bread. That's a good one. How exactly you make sweet potato tortillas? Tune in tomorrow and see firsthand. But it involves cooking a sweet potato. Yeah, Capitano, welcome in. The bot's trying to create web pages, apparently. It's been doing that with the dinner command all night. Hey there. I'm adding more water to this sauce. It doesn't really need it right now, but it needs to cook longer, so... Does it say chicken al... Why is it saying chicken al pastor? It's pork. I've been planning to do pork al pastor tacos. That's my fault. That's not the bot, for once. Though I could do... Well, speaking of the amount of chicken that I have in this house, I probably should do chicken al pastor, but... Pork fits the theme much better. Sorry to burst your bubble. If you're excited explicitly about chicken. Let's get some sizzle going. It's sizzle time. Let's see how these turn out. Are they a liquid mess? They're falling apart. More flour. Sorry, El Capitano. But part of the theme for tomorrow's dinner is pork chops. And I don't know why I originally threw chicken in there. Maybe price. It's not going to be true. To pop your bubble even further, it's not going to be true Al Pastor either. Because Al Pastor, the traditional style of Al Pastor is almost a little bit like vertical spit grilled. Like it's stacked with pieces of pineapple in it. Like it's... I'm forgetting the Middle Eastern dish that they use for that, but let's try that. Let's see if this sticks together any better. I'm going to be doing a braised pineapple and pork dish tomorrow. The traditional al pastor is like layered on a skewer and then vertical spit grilled and then sliced off like shawarma, yes. There, that one stuck together a little bit better. Darn it. I got schmutz all over my thing earlier. My spiders got schmutz all over it. Bot, what's going on? Are you restarting? What is your issue? Oh no, are we dark already? Oh, we're getting there. Quick. But you know, just for that, I'm going to go ahead and add chicken al pastor onto the menu in the future, if I remember. But I'll try and remember to put that on the menu in the future, so that we can have that. Where's my caption showing up on the top one? Oh, okay. That works. It's weird, I gotta keep track of another screen now that I have vertical and horizontal. You got 2 more fritters? 1 more fritter? 2. Barely. Not really 2. Nope, that's the wrong ones. Where did they go? Where are the ones I was using for this go? Lost in time. Alright, chicken cooking, chicken frying time. Ooh. Kiro, thank you for the sub. Greatly appreciate that. Kiro Isonic? Not 100% in pronunciation there. But welcome in, thank you for that sub. Picadillo! What's the picadillo? Ground meat, tomatoes, but also raisins, olives, and other wow. Actually turning the heat off on the sauce now. It's nice and hot. And it's just about perfect thickness, maybe slightly too thick. Heat off on the oil as well. Realizing I still have half an onion out here from earlier. I'll throw that in the fridge for some other time. Fine salt over the top of all of that. All of that going down in the oven to stay warm for a couple minutes. Oil carefully moving to the back and getting covered. Let me check I'm not missing something else with this first. Yep, bananas. Try and keep the wax paper against the ripped parts of the banana so that these stay nice another day or two. What happened to you, poor thing? You all open your bananas from this side, right? Makes life a lot easier. You don't get all those strings sticking to it. How come you don't open them that way? That's the way the monkeys open them. I grew up opening them up the other way too. That's why I'm making fun of this. Oh no! Allergies are lame. Don't know that I've ever had, like, the hard way. Are you, like, friends with Gallagher or something, Kip? I'm not sure how you open it the hard way. Gallagher may be too old of a joke for Twitch. Is he still doing comedy acts? I used to think he was hilarious when I was a kid, and now I'm an adult and it's like, is all you do is smash stuff? Alright, we got a nice hot pan over here. Let's see how these things saute. I have a feeling they're not going to pan sear very well, but that's the plans that we're doing here. I have a suspicion these are all just going to stick to the pan, even though it's cast iron. You have an idea who Gallagher is? Gallagher was a stand-up comedian in like the 80s, maybe early 90s, who typically wore really wild hats, and his act primarily switched between pulling things out of a suitcase like jokes, like we're gonna pull 1,000,001 things out of something that's not nearly large enough to hold them, and smashing things with a giant mallet, melons and other things. And like it was like a show where like the first 5 layers of the crowd was covered in plastic to protect themselves from all the stuff that's gonna get sprayed on them in the show. Okay, we're loosening up this sauce some. It's cooled and thickened. It's interesting. They're getting lighter. Like they're cooking through and becoming a little bit more translucent, like onions on one hand, but the actual color of them is getting whiter. Like, it's not very photogenic, but I want all of that cooked, crispy banana in there, too. At least not want not. You doing okay over here, sauce? Yeah. Heat back off on the sauce again. I could finish it with butter if I was looking to have a heart attack even earlier in life than I will be. But I won't be. What's with the shadow tonight? Wow. Sunlight just killing my light tonight. And there we have it, folks. Dinner for tonight and lunch for tomorrow. Extra sauce would be amazing with the other piece of chicken. I have a feeling these could even just be straight up dipped in this. Let's give these a try. Let's see what these are like. Yum. But at the same time, I don't look at losing that sauce as a giant hole in my pocketbook. If you think about what I put into that sauce, like that's why I sort of love, that's why restaurants love them too, but it's why I sort of love bechamel sauces. It's a little bit of butter and a little bit of flour. It's mostly water and a little half and half to give it that cream, and then seasoning. And so it's not a hugely expensive sauce despite being a beautiful gravy. But I do think that is where I am going to leave things for this lovely evening. I hope you've had a great night. As I said, I am going to be doing streaming for the next couple of days here. I'm streaming until Wednesday night. So Thursday is going to be my next night off. I'm continuing to do stained glass work in the mornings. And so we'll have another cutting glass stream, 10 a.m. Pacific, tomorrow. And then in the evening, we'll have 4:30 Pacific, Chef Jay Tay. I'm going to be doing pork al pastor tacos with all sorts of other loveliness going along with it, and hopefully the stream is not causing me issues still then. It's been cooperating much better now. It's still not 100% in action, but we're getting there. Have a great night, everyone. I wish you all a great start to your week. And I hope to see you back here tomorrow. Let's see who's out there on Twitch tonight. They're just starting. I shall leave it there. I'm not going to raid out tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. We'll have all sorts of loveliness coming up here soon. I got all sorts of lovely dishes in the plans. Have a great night, everyone.